There is a framework that has been around since the beginning of time. We see it everywhere in those we admire subconsciously, and even in the characters we root for in films. It is the feeling of doing what is right, even when it is uncomfortable. Stoicism is a way of thinking and living. When you know you're being tested, you become a Stoic. It is something you develop to get through the trials ahead of you. Our minds were not created specifically for the modern way of living, which is one reason why they tend to reject it and spiral into depression and anxiety. In today's lesson, we will discuss how to develop routines and habits to become a Stoic. This is worth being admired, as it means that you can be thrown into hell at any moment by the whims of nature and come out stronger. Let's start with developing your morning routine. Firstly, prepare tonight for your morning tomorrow. The philosophy of Stoicism always comes back to the idea that you should only focus on what you can control. You want to have a good morning tomorrow, however, you are already aware of the patterns you repeat. For example, turning off your alarm clock in the morning and waiting until the last minute. Sometimes you can't even say that you are in control at these moments, but that is a lie. It is difficult to overcome your tired, weak state. Instead of relying entirely on your future self, prepare tonight for the best results tomorrow. Have your coffee ready for you, prepare your clothing, place your keys, wallet, and any essentials you might need in the morning by the door. In doing so, you reclaim control over the elements that typically induce morning chaos. Stoicism in this context becomes a practical tool for navigating the inevitable unpredictability of the early hours. As you lay the groundwork the night before, you are acknowledging that you can't control every aspect of the day, but you can certainly influence its trajectory. Secondly, avoid distractions. If you break the word distraction down into two parts, you get dis meaning apart, and traction, a Latin word meaning pulling. Distraction can pull your focus away or divert your attention. Think for a moment about what typically keeps you from getting out of bed in the morning. You have everything ready, from your clothes to your coffee. Yet you still find it challenging to get up. Is your phone the culprit? Perhaps scrolling through videos and social media is your way to wake up your brain. However, if you want to eliminate distractions, try not to reach for your phone right away. Instead, consider getting a real alarm clock. They are inexpensive and easy to find. Keep your phone away from your bed and turn off the internet. If it makes you feel better, you can keep your phone on call tone for emergencies. Your phone can be a double-edged sword, providing both motivation and distraction. Therefore, it's essential to get it away from your bed and go to sleep on time. If you need help, use your phone as motivation to get up in the morning. Work with yourself and find ways to avoid distractions and use what would have been a distraction as an incentive. Number 3 is to develop willpower. As Marcus Aurelius said, concentrate every minute like a Roman, with precise and genuine seriousness. Focus on what's in front of you and free yourself from all other distractions. The hardest part is getting out of bed, but once you're up, maintain this habit. Focus on taking control and being the master of your vessel. Anything over-encumbering you at this moment is something you can take inventory of and shape your actions. Count to 5 and stand up. If you do this every time, it gets easier. Practice listening to your authority. When you count to 5, blink, stretch, and clear your throat. Have willpower and power over your will. Number 4 is to get something done. The key is not the size of the task. The act of completing a tangible task as part of a Stoic morning routine can help you start your day with purpose and a sense of accomplishment. By setting a clear intention for the day, you can cultivate a sense of control and achievement that will carry you through the rest of your day. To do this, take a moment to reiterate and clarify your goals for the day, reflecting on your overarching values and long-term objectives. By embracing Stoic philosophy, you understand that each day is a chapter in the larger narrative of your life. And by reaffirming your purpose, you are actively participating in its creation. Consistency is key when it comes to building a successful Stoic morning routine. By establishing a set wake-up time and preparing for the day ahead, you can stay on track and reflect on how your investment in your time is helping you maintain a Stoic mindset. This consistency will contribute to a sense of stability and purpose in your daily life. Consistency is the backbone of a Stoic morning routine. It provides a steady rhythm that runs through the fabric of your day, regardless of the external circumstances. The internal commitment to your routine remains unwavering, and it goes beyond the tangible actions to the mindset you cultivate. Participating in morning stretching and exercise is essential, and you can do it at any point before leaving your house. Ideally, it's best to do it early on, Even if you choose to spend some time with entertainment, you can still use this time to stretch. You can do this while getting dressed, standing up, or whenever you have a few minutes. Although you need to dedicate a minimum of 5 to 15 minutes to this practice, the benefits are profound. Stretching not only invigorates your body but also aligns with the Stoic philosophy. By promoting mindfulness and presence in the moment, it becomes a form of meditation in motion, grounding you in the present and fostering a connection between mind and body. The intentional act of stretching also serves as a physical reminder of your commitment to self-care and well-being, reinforcing the idea that taking care of yourself is a crucial aspect of navigating the challenges of the day. Before venturing out into the day, take a moment for introspection. Ponder a fundamental question: what might constitute a successful day today? This inquiry acts as a guiding light, shaping your choices and actions in harmony with your aspirations. Within the framework of Stoic philosophy, success transcends mere external achievements. It finds its essence in the internal alignment with your core values and principles. As you envision success, acknowledge that it's not always about grand objectives. Some days may be characterized by smaller, incremental goals that accumulate over time. One important item in your routine is leaving on time. You have control over when you leave, whether that be early or directly at the pace that allows you to arrive at your destination precisely on time. However, you cannot control driving conditions like weather and traffic. If you leave at a pace where you will get there on time, you will find yourself frustrated at any inconveniences impeding your route and even attempting to make up for lost time. If you leave early, any setbacks are essentially accepted, because at your pace you've allowed for the unexpected. This crucial element in your routine embodies the Stoic principle of distinguishing between what lies within and beyond your control. As you leave, you must set the tone for your day. Now that you've woken up at a decent time, had time to prepare your body and mind, and are leaving early, there is one last step to your morning routine. Attempt to leave the house with the energy that you wish to set for your day. As an example, for the rest of your day, assume that you are not in a rush and you are all prepared. As you open the door and let yourself out, try to get an upbeat song stuck in your head or listen to someone who expresses a good amount of energy. This can be akin to the programming language that a computer program operates on and is the basis for your daily operating system. Consider the morning as a foundation, a Stoic groundwork that you've meticulously laid. The upbeat rhythm in your mind or the energetic words you've absorbed become the programming language guiding your interactions, decisions, and responses throughout the day. As you embrace the world beyond your doorstep, carry the assurance that you've laid the groundwork for a day lived with intention and resilience. Now that we have a morning routine, what are some things that we know we need to give up? Stop wasting your time, for a wise man knows that any amount of time is enough. As Seneca once proclaimed, it's not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it. Think about that and relate it to your circumstances. Are you not using your time wisely? Do you put so much time and resources into planning that you never seem to be able to even start working towards your goal? Some days you're far too lazy that you are not even getting up to get started in the first place. Remember that to learn is to act. You learn through action, not enacting the situation in your mind. You can only do what is in your control. So instead of haphazardly attempting and getting frustrated by your efforts, break down your task into smaller steps. You cannot simply jump across the river, but you can walk across multiple stepping stones. Whatever your situation is, break it down into these steps and find accomplishment in crossing off these tasks one by one. If you find yourself getting stuck on one part of the endeavor, break down that task into smaller steps one by one until you're done. So don't waste time. Go into each task with multiple steps leading toward your goal. To keep yourself on track and accountable, do not be a perfectionist. This is a direct continuation of the previous habit. To try to be perfect in everything that you do is ironically to hold back. It is not to have quality over quantity, but to not have quantity at all. To be a perfectionist is to refine in real time, and not to improve at a task the more you do it. Firstly, recognize that we are all imperfect beings. To be human is to be in a constant state of making errors, and it is through our mistakes that we learn and grow. It is unreasonable to expect perfection from ourselves, as it is a standard no one can truly achieve. Embrace your humanity. High order of life. Epictetus is not superior to Socrates, but if he is not inferior, this is enough for me. That was by Epictetus, from Book 1 of the Discourses. So instead of being a perfectionist, Complete your tasks to the best of your abilities that you have today. But be in a constant state of taking note of how you might do the task better next time. You must stop complaining. Consider the Stoics, like Marcus Aurelius, who faced adversities with unwavering resilience and embraced challenges as opportunities for growth. So instead of weakly complaining about the difficulties that befall you, confront them with the spirit of a Stoic philosopher. Remember, complaining is the language of victims, and you, my friend, are meant to be a victor in the grand play of existence. Marcus Aurelius once said that everything that happens is either endurable or not. If it's endurable, then endure it. Stop complaining. If it's unendurable, then stop complaining. Your destruction will mean its end as well. Do not think that you do not have a reason to complain, but overcome the urge, as complaining is to blame. Complaining is to displace responsibility, so put the responsibility on yourself to fix the problems around you, as you are the only being within your control. So don't complain. Instead, change what is in your power to change. Recognize when you are wrong in a situation, and adapt. For that is how you become a stronger man. Do not live in the past. If you are depressed, you are living in the past. If you are anxious, you are living in the future. If you are at peace, you are living in the present. That was a quote by Lao Tzu. One of the core tenets of Stoicism is to be aware of and focus on what we can control and let go of those we can't. One area that we don't have control over is what happened in the past. It is not something that we can change, yet it is one of the hardest things for us to let go of. Regrets are a prison of our own making, but we are the ones who hold the key to our escape. Learning how to untangle ourselves from the past can bring us peace and freedom to move more lightly in the present. So do not live in the past. Instead, realize the message behind the reason you keep returning to these times of your life. Think of these memories like parables with different names and settings, and think of the conclusion to the story and what you can learn and add to your tool belt to use in the present. You must stop fearing change. If you realize that all things change, there is nothing that you will try to hold on to. If you aren't afraid of death, there is nothing you can't achieve. That was a quote by Tao Te Ching. Your fear of change is a shackle that binds you, a self-imposed limitation that obstructs the path to true freedom. Change, my friend, is not an adversary but a constant companion in the journey of life. Consider the words of Epictetus, who proclaimed, "We cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them." Change is an external circumstance, an ever-present river that flows, shaping the landscapes it encounters. Your power lies not in halting its course, but in choosing how you navigate its currents. The problem is not change itself, but your resistance to it. Like a ship, you can choose to sail with the wind or fight against it, but either way, change is inevitable. Please find below the edited version of the text you provided. I have corrected any spelling, grammar, and punctuation errors and made it clearer to read. The problem is not change itself, but your resistance to it. Like a stoic oak that withstands the storms, learn to sway with the winds of change rather than standing rigid and brittle. When you find yourself worrying about these changes, take hold of that feeling and conquer it. Walk directly into the storm and show it who is king. Do not fear change. Instead, learn how to accept that you will have to deal with hardships, and that is your responsibility. The more stoic you can find yourself in these trials, the easier it becomes day by day, year by year. Do not compare yourself to others. We tend to think that this is a modern-day phenomenon, but it has been a prevalent problem for humans throughout history. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Do not waste the remainder of your life in thoughts about others, for you lose the opportunity of doing something else when you have such thoughts as these." It is the human condition to think about what others, specifically our peers, think about us. What Marcus Aurelius is reminding us here is to forget about others and what they think about us. He says it is far better to use our attention and mental powers to do something more constructive with our lives, and your logical, rational, and ordinary mind knows this. However, we can always take this opportunity to think of this phenomenon as a tool. What does our subconscious believe our peers are doing right, and we're not doing well enough? Are you envying how they are starting a family? Perhaps it is time to look for a partner. Are they being offered a promotion? Perhaps we must roll up our sleeves and prove to the authority of our workplace what we are capable of. In the same vein of thinking, let it be known that often these comparisons are superficial and negative. Recognize that we must always be on a journey of self-improvement, being better than who we were yesterday, not who someone else is today. There is no rush to meet life goals, but there is a drive in all of us to only be satisfied when we are struggling to get up the hill, not daydreaming about what may be waiting for us at the mountain's peak. So don't compare yourself to others. Instead, compare yourself to who you were yesterday and challenge him instead. You must stop obsessing over the future. Never let the future disturb you. You will meet it, if you have to, with the same weapons of reason which today arm you against the present. Your obsession with the future is a manifestation of fear, a reluctance to face the uncertainty that lies ahead. But courage is found not in anticipation but in the fortitude to confront the unfolding moment. The future is beyond your control. Your power lies not in fretting about what is yet to come, but in mastering your response to the ever-present now. As discussed prior, we must only concern ourselves with what is within our control. If tomorrow there is something to be dealt with, all we can do is prepare our minds and environment to make it easier for ourselves to deal with tomorrow. We cannot control how much traffic will be on the streets tomorrow, but what we can control is planning to leave early to account for it if the traffic is heavy. We cannot control if it will be easy to get out of bed, but what we can control is going to bed early to make it simpler. We can control having our belongings in a predictable location. We can control being studied and thus be prepared mentally. So, don't obsess over the future. Instead, learn to be prepared, as our mind, body, and immediate environment are the only elements we can control. Do not be a materialist. Marcus Aurelius once said, if you can't stop prizing a lot of other things, then you'll never be free. Free, independent, imperturbable. Because you'll always be jealous, being afraid that people might come and take it all away from you. The mission of a Stoic is to be self-reliant. Our toolbox is our mind that we must keep at the ready at all times. We know not what our opponent, be it a person or the environment itself, will draw to tackle us. If we found ourselves one day with no electricity, how would we fare? If we found ourselves having to leave it all behind, how much would we miss it? The problem, dear seeker, is not in the appreciation of material comforts, but in being aware of the attachment to these things that transforms them into the arbiter of your happiness and self-worth. Marcus Aurelius urges you to break free from the chains of materialism, for in its grip you forfeit the independence and imperturbability that define a truly liberated existence. So do not be attached to material things. Instead, be vigilant in your abilities, as your skills may one day have to supplement the absence of your belongings. Stop having unrealistic expectations. We all have certain expectations that things should go a specific way. For some of us, it's holding fixed expectations that our relationship should be exactly as we've imagined, a perfect partner, kids, family, and friends. For others, it's the expectation that we should have it all figured out by now, that our career should follow a carefully plotted path, or that some special event, wedding, birthday, vacation abroad should live up to what you expect. It's not that expectations are inherently dangerous, but that you are fixating on something out of your control. Positive visualization, setting expectations sky high and fixating on the best-case scenario are not so much a strategy as it is a recipe for failure. More times than not, the outcome will fall short of the best-case scenario. So stop having unrealistic expectations. Instead, do your best when trying to obtain your goal, and whatever outcome you achieve, learn from it for better results moving forward. In the subject of control, all you can do is learn and adapt. Do not procrastinate. Seneca said that putting things off is the biggest waste of life. It snatches away each day as it comes and denies us the present by promising the future. The greatest obstacle to living is expectancy, which hangs upon tomorrow and loses today. The whole future lies in uncertainty. Live immediately. In this world, where so many lies beyond our control, the Stoic solution emerges. Commit to a routine you control. By embracing a disciplined schedule, you assert control over your actions and escape the clutches of procrastination. As Seneca would argue, organize your time, establish principles, and eliminate the faults that detain your spirit. By doing so, you pave the way for focused effort and a fulfilling life. Don't procrastinate. Instead, make it a habit to do things as soon as you see them. Whether it's a sink full of dirty dishes or a hamper full of laundry, completing even the smallest of tasks can free your mind for larger goals and ambitions. Stop seeking validation from others. Seeking external approval is a form of dependence that can lead to anxiety and a lack of control over your life. While it's natural to want acceptance and validation from those around us, living for others' approval can lead us away from our true selves and desires. Authentic living means living by your morals and standards, and if your actions complement the wants of others, all the better. To live a more positive social life, stop feeling sorry for yourself. Instead, focus on what you can do to improve your situation. Put on a confident, determined look and carry yourself high. Engage in more social circles and invest energy into reciprocal relationships. If there is a sense of imbalance, take a proactive and constructive approach by broadening your social circles and channeling your energy into what you can control. I'm sorry, but I cannot find any spelling, grammar, or punctuation errors in the original text you provided. However, I can try to rephrase it for clarity. The text talks about personal development and ways to find contentment within oneself by expanding social circles through activities like finding a new job, volunteering, or pursuing hobbies. It suggests taking hobbies outside the home to meet new people, engage with the world, and create lasting memories. It also emphasizes the importance of being mysterious and leaving room for discovery to make oneself more interesting. By doing so, one can become a captivating puzzle with pieces waiting to be revealed, making them infinitely more interesting. Overall, the text encourages individuals to continuously develop themselves, take back their energy, and have more to add to conversations. The philosophy of Stoicism advises us to be cautious about openly discussing ongoing challenges. This is because philosophy rejects ego and pride. Before sharing what you are going through, you must ask yourself if you are doing it because you have hit a wall and don't know how to further progress, or if you are doing it as an excuse or to receive pity from others. Stoics warn that revealing these struggles may cloud our vision, leading us to seek external recognition and praise, which can veil our true potential. If you have a battle that you can fight alone, sometimes it's best to meditate and figure out how to overcome the problem easier next time. Stoics advocate for sharing these struggles with individuals who understand and appreciate the value of internal growth. These individuals can offer the best directions as they have been down the same path. If you must share these battles, do so without adding emotion to the circumstances. Merely give only enough information to communicate the problem. How you feel regarding this problem is a battle that you must fight alone, something you must realize in yourself, not in the responses of others. Refraining from complaining is emphasized as a mindful choice that aligns with Stoicism's emphasis on maintaining inner tranquility and focusing on what is within one's control. Complaining often adds little value to life and is counterproductive to cultivating a happy life. By adopting a Stoic approach of choosing not to complain, individuals can enhance their mental well-being, fortify relationships, boost productivity, and nurture gratitude. Lastly, the Stoic philosophy advocates for humility and discretion in the pursuit of self-improvement. Therefore, it is essential to avoid bragging about yourself. The philosophy of Stoicism advises us to be cautious about openly discussing ongoing challenges. This is because philosophy rejects ego and pride. Before sharing what you are going through, you must ask yourself if you are doing it because you have hit a wall and don't know how to further progress, or if you are doing it as an excuse or to receive pity from others. Stoics warn that revealing these struggles may cloud our vision, leading us to seek external recognition and praise, which can veil our true potential. If you have a battle that you can fight alone, sometimes it's best to meditate and figure out how to overcome the problem easier next time. Stoics advocate for sharing these struggles with individuals who understand and appreciate the value of internal growth. These individuals can offer the best directions as they have been down the same path. If you must share these battles, do so without adding emotion to the circumstances. Merely give only enough information to communicate the problem. How you feel regarding this problem is a battle that you must fight alone, something you must realize in yourself, not in the responses of others. Refraining from complaining is emphasized as a mindful choice that aligns with Stoicism's emphasis on maintaining inner tranquility and focusing on what is within one's control. Complaining often adds little value to life and is counterproductive to cultivating a happy life. By adopting a Stoic approach of choosing not to complain, individuals can enhance their mental well-being, fortify relationships, boost productivity, and nurture gratitude. Complaining usually happens when you have noticed that there is little you can do to change the situation. However, there are situations where complaining may seem like an enjoyable alternative to confronting challenges directly. Shared grievances can create a sense of camaraderie among individuals facing similar issues. It is crucial to recognize that these situations are potentially dangerous within the context of Stoicism. While shared complaints may offer temporary relief or foster a sense of connection, they can inadvertently perpetuate a negative mindset and distract from the Stoic principles of resilience and virtue. It's important to approach such situations with mindfulness, seeking constructive ways to address challenges rather than indulging in complaints that may undermine the pursuit of inner tranquility and personal growth. Lastly, the Stoic philosophy advocates for humility and discretion in the pursuit of self-improvement. Therefore, it is essential to avoid bragging about yourself. Epictetus advises that genuine efforts towards becoming a better individual should be coupled with humility. Boasting about personal progress may dilute the sincerity of one's intentions and diminish intrinsic motivation. In the Stoic view, true self-improvement is a deeply personal journey undertaken for the sake of individual betterment, rather than for the sake of seeking applause or recognition from others. Instead of telling stories that elevate oneself above others, let your actions silently speak as a genuine testament to your growth. Stoicism values the transformation of behavior, character, and mindset as the true indicators of progress. Do not take pride in the value of others realizing your successes. Instead, take pride in your growth and progress. If you are genuinely progressing, your peers will admire you without you having to utter a single word. Marcus Aurelius sagely advised that this Stoic guidance serves as a safeguard for self-confidence and mental well-being, with the understanding that persistent self-deprecation can undermine motivation and impede personal growth. Rather than succumbing to negative self-talk, Stoicism encourages individuals to uphold their self-worth and potential. In line with Marcus Aurelius' counsel, the Stoic perspective recognizes the inherent vulnerabilities within every person, akin to a hero's Achilles' heel. Acknowledging the beautifully imperfect nature of humanity, Stoicism contends that strengths and vulnerabilities coexist within individuals. These vulnerabilities, the delicate and raw facets of our psyche, deserve protection rather than exposure. By adhering to Stoic principles, individuals can cultivate a mindset that shields their vulnerabilities, fostering a positive and constructive inner dialogue that contributes to self-growth and mental resilience. Finding benefits in speaking ill of others can be akin to disturbing the serenity of a calm lake by throwing unwarranted stones. When you find yourself in this action, focus inward. Recognize that judgments and criticisms divert energy from personal growth and virtue. Stoic wisdom encourages individuals to be guardians of their words and thoughts in a world where criticism is prevalent. To use others as a ladder to elevate oneself is being a tyrant. It gives off the appearance of someone trying to get ahead of others by altering perception. By creating reality through dishonest means, individuals compromise the very principles Stoicism seeks to uphold. Stoic teachings caution against such manipulative tactics. Focus instead on internal virtues and self-improvement. Embody honesty and genuine virtue. Align yourself with the Stoic pursuit of a meaningful and virtuous life, wherein the true measure of success is not in how one appears to others, but in the authenticity and integrity with which you navigate existence. Stoicism regards forgiveness as a wise act. When you feel the urge to put someone down, remember this. Also, according to Stoicism, it is better not to talk about your plans. Social media is full of people announcing their intentions. However, Stoicism suggests that it is better to keep your plans private. This way, you can protect your dreams and goals from external opinions and criticisms. Stoics believe that goals and dreams are precious seeds that need to be shielded from external storms of judgments and criticisms. Stoicism teaches that self-sufficiency is the key to wisdom and accomplishment. Discretion is not a weakness but a deliberate choice rooted in Stoic philosophy. It protects you from the whimsical winds of external judgment that are often laden with criticism, envy, and malicious intentions. If your dream is to publish a book, don't find peace in the congratulations others give you for telling them about your journey. Instead, focus on accomplishing your goal and learning from your progress. Stoicism advises against speaking about your self-doubt. This is because it compromises the sincerity of your intentions and can lead to subtle forms of self-aggrandizement. Instead, Stoics advise performing good deeds for the sake of virtuous living. The true reward lies in aligning with moral principles and cultivating a virtuous character. Stoicism teaches that true virtue is its reward. It emphasizes the internal satisfaction derived from acting by ethical principles. Seeking external validation for acts of kindness runs counter to the Stoic principles of humility and genuine virtue. As Epictetus said, "Let another praise you and not your mouth, a stranger and not your lips." In conclusion, Stoicism offers valuable insights into how we can lead a more fulfilling life. Remember to subscribe and share your Stoic journey in the comments below.